Hey, Farms. How you doing? All right. A few days ago, Man of Letters asked this question on Twitter. Can someone explain to me why poorer or less educated people give birth to most children? And the reaction to that tweet, many of the reaction was very, very funny. You can even see from the comment, the likes there, I arrived here late, but yeah, there was a whole lot of reaction to that tweet. However, for the few I could glean, most of the answers there they are circumstantial, so they didn't really give a weighty answer to that question. So for now, the substantial reason we have boils down to human evolutionary background. So why do poor people or less educated people or illiterate give birth to most children? It comes down to human evolutionary background. So what you must understand is that humans on earth, everything we do boils down to survival. And when it comes to living things, survival is the key feature you see for every characteristics, every features, whether plants or animals. So you see a plant having thorns, you see a plant having struck tough back, you see a plant trying to survive in water, you see birds develop wings for flying, man develop up its fore leaves and hind leaves for walking. Whatever features you see in living things or organisms boils down to survival. And survival is key to another core factor, which is the passing of your gene from one generation to another. So the essence why they are trying to survive is so that they can remain in the genetic pool. You see, you and I are alive today because we've been carrying genes from different ancestral line to this point. And most humans you see today, they are ready to continue that line. So the essence of whatever we do today comes down to human evolutionary background. So let's see the reason why poor people or illiterate or less educated people give birth to most kids. Like I said before, it comes down to survival. Now, remember, poor people don't have enough resources to cater for their children. They don't have enough resources to take care of their kids. And remember, organism cannot survive without the right amount of resources and the right environment, and to cap it all, the good gene. Let me not say right gene. Let me good gene. So, what makes an organism survive in its environment or survive to pass its gene comes down to resources, comes down to good environment, and also has to do with the genetic makeup of that organism. Remember, poor people might have a good gene, but they don't have the resources to source for food, to source for their basic things, and it threatens their survival. So, what do poor people do? They give birth to many kids so that in case one die, they one or two dies, there will still be other ones that can take that gene to the next generation. Simple. That's it. Now, why do rich people give birth to a fair number of kids? Vice versa, they have the resources. So you can see a rich man just have two or three kids. They have the resources to provide the right environment and the right amenities, the optimization of the environment, the right functionalities to make to ensure the survival of their children. So they don't need to give birth to many children. Why? Because they have everything they can use to take care of the ones they have. So with them, reproduction is not a game of survival. It's not a gamble. Unlike the poor people who sees reproduction as a gamble. Remember, both the rich and the poor they want to pass that gene to the next generation. So the poor give birth to many children because some might die along the way, and the ones that survive will pass that gene. The rich don't need to bother about that. They have everything to ensure that that two, three kids we grow into adult to reproduce and pass that gene. Of course, there are exemptions. The exemption here is that uh, there are poor people today that have just one, two, three kids. Still comes down to the resources, so they don't have that resources to take care of the kids. So they want to manage the few resources they have to take care of the fewer number of kids they have. While we have um, rich people that have many kids. So they have many kids because they have the resources to take care of these kids and to be able to pass that gene. Of course, this is an evolutionary explanation. There is never a time a rich man comes out to say, okay, because I have enough resources, I want to give birth to fair number of children, or time come for the poor man to say, okay, because I don't have enough money, because I don't have enough resources, I want to give birth to a larger number of children. No, it's not a deliberate thinking. It's not a conscious thinking. It's just subconsciously. That's why it boils down to human evolutionary psychology or biology, as the case may be. So it just comes like that. So they don't think, they don't sit down and think, okay, this is how I want it, this is how I want it. Of course, we all know that giving birth to kids that cannot be catered for causes a lot of problems to our society and environment, as the case may be. So the poor will continue to have sex and reproduce. So you can't stop that fact. You can't stop them. So reproduction is natural, it's biological, and it's the government of every nation should be able to provide the basic amenities that are required by the average person to live and survive in the environment. All right. So this is a simple explanation from an evolutionary background, and there are a whole lot of circumstantial reason you can add to it um, to make it make sense. However, with this, I guess we know why this happens in our society. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.